this is attorney Elizabeth Potts-Weinstein, and today we're going to talk about how long does it take to get a trademark here in the United States. When thinking about how long it takes to register a trademark before the United States Patent and Trademark Office here in the United States, you have to understand that getting a trademark is not automatic. It's not like you just file some forms and the trademark office rubber stamps it. What happens is that you're assigned to a trademark examiner who examines whether or not you should get a trademark. So there's a large percentage of trademarks that do not go through. Even if you've applied for a trademark in the past or you know other people who have applied for trademarks and theirs was granted, you can't assume that that's going to be true in your case. The trademark registration process before the United States Patent and Trademark Office has a big range on how long it can take. So let's first look at the best case scenario. If everything goes absolutely perfectly, you fill out all the forms perfectly, every submission you sent is perfect, and the trademark examiner likes it. How long would that best case scenario take? Well, when you fill out your application before the USPTO, it will be an online application, and you might think that since it's online, it's going to be something they'll look at quickly. And you would be wrong. It will take 3 months before the trademark office assigns it to an examiner. Once that examiner looks at it and does their searches and makes their decisions, best case scenario, they say yes. Then they're going to set a date for your trademark to be published. What published means is that there's a register, there's almost think of it like a journal or a newspaper kind of magazine that has a list of everybody who's applied for trademarks, and the trademark office is planning to grant those, except they're giving the public a chance to oppose that registration. So there'll be a date when they set to publish it, which will be probably weeks, if not a month or two after when they say yes. Then it'll be published, and then for the next 30 days, anyone in the world can object. So let's say no one objects, okay? You get to that point, and then the trademark office will send you a notification that yes, your trademark is granted. But it's not like they send it at that 30-day moment. It takes them a few weeks, if not a few months, to finally send you your trademark in the mail. If you add up those 3 months and month and month and month and all that stuff all together, it's about 6 months at the minimum. If all your filing goes perfectly, if the trademark office is on top of it, best case scenario is it will take you 6 months from the date of filing. But most of the time, even in that best case scenario, it actually takes more like 8 or 9 months. So let's take the next situation where things don't go perfectly, okay? So let's say you go to that 3 months and the examiner looks at your trademark and they decide, something wrong with it. Now, if it's something that's really little and easy to fix, they may email you or call you on the phone and say, here's what you did wrong. Perhaps the evidence of your use, your specimen, wasn't the right file format. Then they might call you or email you and say, you need to send this as a JPEG. You need to send this as a PDF instead of however you sent it. If it's something small, you might be able to fix it right then and then have them just a week or two later look at that, and then you go into that process we talked about earlier. But let's say it's not something small, it's something bigger. Then they'll issue a office action that is a formal response that you have to reply to. You have 6 months to reply to that. You don't have to take 6 months. You could reply to them the next day if you're on top of it. But you many times want a little bit of time to consider what your response is going to be. Now, perhaps you do respond with your office action, your reply to the office action, and then they say, yes, we agree with you, that's fine. Well, then you go back into the other process. But let's say they don't agree with you. Then they'll issue a final office action, and you have to make whatever changes is going to make them happy. Otherwise, your trademark will not go through at all. So some of the other things that can add on more time include if someone opposes your trademark. Remember when I talked about the publication requirement? Well, if someone objects to your trademark, they can file a notice of opposition, and then actual opposition proceeding is before the TTAB, the Trademark Trial and Appeals Board. And that's like a court. Okay, that's like a whole entire different video to go into what TTAB opposition proceedings are like. But think of it as a court dispute where there's discovery and could be trial and everything. So that could take many months or even years. Another issue that can prolong the proceeding for you is if your trademark application is suspended. That can happen if there's some other trademark application that may conflict with yours, but we don't know if it's going to go through yet. So what the trademark office will do is to suspend your trademark to wait and see if the other one goes through. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. And if it doesn't go through, then you're fine. Your trademark will be unsuspended and you'll just proceed how you were. But if it does go through, then you may end up getting rejected. Here's the thing, it all depends upon the other trademark states. You may end up waiting years for their stuff to finalize. And in the meanwhile, you're just suspended. The last common issue that can delay your trademark application issuing into a trademark is if you filed an intent to use application. Intent to use application means you don't actually use it, but you intend to use it in the future. So you have an idea for a new brand or a product or service, and you file the trademark application to get dibs on it, which can be a great idea, but you don't get the trademark until you file proof that you actually use it, a specimen. Well, maybe you're not ready to do that, and so you keep filing 6-month extensions over and over. You can do that for 3 years. That obviously delays when you get your trademark. So the bottom line is, how long does it take to get a trademark here in the United States? At least 6 months, usually more like 9 months if everything goes right, but sometimes it takes years. So it's important to have realistic expectations when you file your trademark application. Again, this is Elizabeth Potts-Weinstein. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe if you'd like more legal tips, especially about trademarks. Thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you later.